Members of the media, thank you very much for availing yourself this afternoon for this briefing. My apology for being late. We have just convened the emergency committee meeting. It has concluded, and a few things that have been discussed that we perhaps you need to inform the public through your own media outlets. This is in terms of evacuation centers. As from today, the evacuation centers in terms of security, the military and the police, they will be responsible for all evacuation centers that are going to be activated. And on other issues, that for those areas of Fiji that have still not been covered by the tropical cyclone Winston, while we still have daylight, one of the things that actually have been effective with us in the past is actually for people to actually nail down their roofs, especially for the buildings that are not strong enough. This is one of the issues that came out very strongly, and also one of the major reasons too that we have minimized the impact of cyclones and flood in the past, also including the digging of drains. Simple things that can be done around the house with the community that can actually save the building and also save the area from flooding. As of this afternoon, when we concluded the meeting, there will be another meeting of the of the emergency committee at 4 o'clock. We are aware of the situation that is happening in the Eastern Division, especially the Honombalawu area, together with the closer by islands. We are aware that Honombalawu, Lakemba, Didia, and Nayau, we are not getting through with communication. So with the 5 category tropical cyclone Winston have gone through that area this morning, that was expected. And by now we know that there will definitely a decision will have to be made very soon, and I'm hoping that the emergency committee, through the meeting this afternoon, should be able to make a decision in order to effectively accommodate the needs of our people. As of now, Vonolevu through Lambasa and all the urban areas, the towns, the markets have been closed, and the people have been asked to leave, to go to their home. Likewise too for the Central Division, Nosori has also been instructed to close. So these are some of the proactive measures that are being taken now to safeguard the community. We are aware that in the absence of a declaration, people still take things on liberty with their own initiative. And as we have experienced in the past, sometimes it ends up with something else. For example, drowning, people can be hit by flying debris and things like that. This afternoon, when the emergency committee will convene, a decision will have to be made on the current situation that we have. We know that the tropical cyclone Winston is still here with us, and it will take a few more hours or a day to tomorrow before it leaves Fiji. And what we would like to emphasize now with the community is that by now all the preparation for what they should be doing with respect to their homes should now be all set and ready. And if their houses are not strong enough, they should move to their nearest evacuation centers. And I would like to emphasize here, while we still have daylight, those that it's safe to nail down the roofs of buildings and also to clear the drains. These are simple things that are done to actually safeguard residences and homes. So this is the message we would like to send out to the public, and we are hoping that while we still have this daylight, they adhere to this information and advice. Those areas that have already gone past, we cannot do anything about it. But those that haven't, especially because we know the tropical cyclone, because of the high pressure system on the southern side, actually pushed the cyclone further up. That's why it went past Honombalawu and now into Tavioni, Namboalo area. These are the people, these are the areas that will be affected. So we are taking precaution now to make sure that people are ready, so people are being alerted, and if a need be, before nightfall, if there has to be a curfew to be made, the emergency committee will make a decision on that for the very reason that they would like to minimize any loss, to minimize any casualty that usually happen in events like this. That is all from the National Emergency Operations Center. I will take questions now.
In terms of situation reports, we still have not received reports from Malawi.
Yes, experience of the past, for example, in Tropical Cyclone Amy way back in 2003, when the whole of Honolulu was, the communication was taken out. It was then only later on we found out that their comms were out and the area was flooded. They were being devastated. So with the category 5 that we have now with the tropical cyclone Winston, we would expect similar kind of situation to happen in those islands in northern Laos, and that is something that the emergency committee will have to make a decision on.
So regarding this morning's emergency meeting with the stakeholders, could you brief us on what they will be doing, the various stakeholders?
The stakeholders, they were there. They briefed the committee in terms of their situation. All of them, I would say, from our infrastructure to our utilities, they have reported normal, that there has not been any undue situation. I perhaps would like to also mention here that because of the strong winds that we are going through, one of the things that usually go out is usually water from the tap. So it's timely now that while we still have daylight, that the storage of water should be made. And I would also like to mention at the height of the event, we should not expect the emergency people to actually come around and assist. The assistance is only done now while we still have time, and they will have to wait. And from our side, from the disaster management side, once the event has subsided, it is safe for the emergency people to move, then they will move. We will not be sending out people to go and evacuate or to go and rescue when it is nightfall, when you have flooding or you have hurricane winds. We do not want to take unnecessary undue action where we put our emergency people on the line to be at risk. So that is the message that we would also like to convey. Store water now. It's an issue in the past, and it always will be an issue, although we have a lot of water with the rain outside. Once the tap is out, and then we start to blame the Water Authority of Fiji and the other sectors. But that should not be the case.
So in your experience, would this be the worst ever?
That is what we have heard from the Fiji Met Office. As a Cat 5, probably this is the biggest. But in terms of the impact, it will depend on the preparation of the community. We know it is coming. It is only it only tests how good we are in terms of how we are prepared. Whether it is Cat 3 or Cat 5, if we are well prepared, then we should be able to minimize the loss, to minimize the damage, and even casualties.
So have the disciplinary forces been deployed?
The disciplinary forces I have mentioned, they will be deployed to the evacuation centers. So for the security of evacuation centers that are already been activated, the police and the military will be there to supervise and to see the safety of everybody in the center.
Can you update on the number of people that are going to the evacuation centers for the
So far for the evacuation centers, the numbers are still coming in. We have a few for the Eastern Division. The one that we have here from Mambula in Didia, when they were still being able to be communicated with, and also Yanrana in Lakemba. This was in the morning. Now that the communication is out with them. For the Northern Division, we have Somosomo Provincial Hall, the Wairiki Primary School and the Ravanga Hall at Solehu in Bua. I know there are more evacuation centers that are now being open. Once we receive the information, and perhaps with our briefing at 4 o'clock, we should be able to give you a proper update on, after the emergency committee meeting, we should be able to give you a proper update on the number of evacuation centers that are now being activated.
Is assistance being provided in terms of food and water supply to the settings?
We inform the members of the public if they have to move with their food. But that should be able to last them a few days. It does not mean that the authorities that they are not also looking after their situation. But if need be, then the ration assistance are also provided. I know our NGOs, non-government organization, and the civil society organization, they are also there to help out with the communities when evacuation centers are being activated. But we would like to advise them first that they should be able to accommodate themselves in the first 2 or 3 days.
Just a confirmation of the list of evacuation centers that we received this morning, 700 plus, they are not all activated, just
No.
some.
No, that is the number that are available with us that are ready to be activated. And they will be activated when the need arises. When there are communities affected, they would like to move in. Then the managers of the school, the head teachers and the principal, now with the police and the military, they will ensure that they move in and they are safe at the evacuation centers.
All movements to be done daytime. Movements to be.
Yeah, all the movements to be done during daytime. Preparation to be done during daytime. Nighttime, that is not the time to move. And likewise too for those in low-lying areas. As the message has gone out yesterday, they should be able to gauge our past experience of rivers and floodplains and the areas that are usually flooded. We again would like to advise that it's always best to move during daytime. Nighttime is not the time to move. Nighttime you should be staying at your home or at where you're supposed to be, safe. Okay, now we will be having the emergency meeting again at 4. So I know some of you, especially for the cameras, at 6 o'clock for your news. But yeah, we'll have to broadcast next morning, except for the radios. Yeah. Okay, now